Hello and welcome to Just One More Watch. You saw the video title, you saw the thumbnail, you know what's happening. Welcome to another AliExpress top 10 video. If you like this style of watch and you like this style of content but you aren't subscribed to this channel, that's easily fixed by pressing the big button marked subscribe. I make 3 of these top 10 lists each year, one for each of the 3 biggest sales. This top 10 list is designed to coincide with the mid-year sale. And I've got 10 watches plus a couple of bonuses starting at only $10 today, all the way up to about $280, all of which I think would make great additions to your collection. Some of them will be joining me in my collection. I have a few in my cart. I will let you know which ones over the course of the video. Now the sale starts on the 12th of June, but the pre-sale starts today, the 10th of June. AliExpress allows you to add items into your cart, lock in the sale prices, and then come back when the sale begins to check out. I'll leave links to every watch that I show in the description of the video in the order that I show them. To be clear, I am an AliExpress affiliate, so if you buy something after clicking through on one of my links, they pay me a small finder's fee. You don't pay any more for the product, just so we're clear. Thanks very much. So what's on the list today then? Well, a couple of GMTs, a couple of chronographs, some original watches, some not so original watches, and make sure you stick around for number 10. I do not know what drugs they are on at that particular factory, but I want some. Put it that way. Let's get on with it. Alright, at number 1 today, first cab off the rank, it's an original GMT by San Martin, and it looks fantastic. If you've ever bought a San Martin, you know they make fantastic watches, but most of the best stuff, up until this point anyway, have been lookalikes, one-for-one copies of Swiss luxury watches. Here, they are finally, and I think successfully, making an original design that looks really good. It's just under 40mm in diameter, 20mm lug width, but only 12.5mm thick. Seiko NH34 powered, of course. On the fly adjustable clasp, 6 o'clock date, beads of rice bracelet, top hat sapphire crystal, 100 meters of water resistance, and the blue one has some fantastic colors. You got that turquoise style dial with red and orange hands and dial text, but a darker blue bezel bringing all of those colors together. Or if you prefer, there's a sensible black version. Now the San Martin official store is showing these as out of stock at the moment, but they are going to restock this one tomorrow, the 11th. You will find a $40 discount code in the description of this video, taking the price down to $280 US. So have a look at it today. If you like what you see, come back tomorrow and pop one in your cart. I've got one on the way to me here in Sydney. You can expect a full review on the channel soon. At number 2, let's change gears completely and have a look at a micro rotor watch by Lobbini. I reviewed a Baltic earlier this week with a Hangzhou 5000 micro rotor movement in it. Not a common movement, but there are a number of AliExpress using it, including Lobbini. And this one costs a lot less than the Baltic, coming in at under $200 US. It's a classic 40-20, has sapphire crystal covering the dial, a usable 50 meters of water resistance, and a date complication at the 3 o'clock, in addition to the small second at the 7:30. But this is really why you buy this watch. It's a very attractive and very rare micro rotor, fully decorated 30 jewel high beat automatic. That means Lobbini can make this watch only 8.5mm thick, or should that be 8.5mm thin? That is really very slim. 4 colours are available, a couple with rose gold case and a couple with a stainless steel case. I'm having one of these. I've got a black and stainless steel one in my cart ready to go. Okay, hang on to your hats folks, it's a 3-for-1 deal at number 3. The Tudor Lookalikes 39 was one of the biggest luxury watch releases last year. They cost $4,500 US each, and you'll still struggle to buy one even if you want to because of a lack of supply. But it didn't take long for the AliExpress brands to get a hold of the design, and they have sold a ton of them over the last couple of months. If you haven't picked one up yet, here are 3 I think you should have a look at. Starting with the Sea Stern, a faithful 1-for-1 of the Tudor, made of grade 2 titanium, coming in at only 96 grams, with sapphire crystal, great lume on the dial and hands, and a no-date specific NH38 by Seiko, or if you prefer, they do a high beat seagull option. It comes in blue if you prefer that to the original's black. Now I have one here in Sydney, it only just arrived and it is really very nice with a fantastic looking radially brushed bezel insert and really nicely finished titanium case. I'm working on a comparison video which I'll publish next week comparing these lookalikes to the Tudor, and I must say the Sea Stern does very well for itself indeed. You should be able to grab one of these for around $250 during the sale, or approximately 6% of the cost of the original. Now, San Martin have taken a slightly different route with their SN012. This is in collaboration with the Watch Dive store. It is a 39mm in diameter, black or blue, date or no date, but it isn't made of titanium, it's made of stainless steel. So not quite a one for one then like the Sea Stern is. More of a smaller steel Pelagos, if you see what I mean. I also have one of these in hand at the moment. It is very nice, typical San Martin quality, as you can see from these close-ups, but actually quite hard to find. Like I said, they have sold a ton of these already. I'll leave a couple of links, but you might have to dig around a bit for this one to find it in stock. No wonder, as they were selling them for around $230 US. That one will also feature in the comparison video next week. There is a third option though, also by San Martin. The SN0111, it's slightly larger at 40mm and not featuring the indices inlaid into the chapter ring. It is also made of stainless steel, but it has more water resistance than either of the others at 300 meters, and it is much easier to buy. It should set you back no more than $225 during the sale. Links to all three in the description. Head-to-head-to-head video coming soon. Alright, number 4, I promise there is only one watch, and it is the cheapest watch on today's list at under $10 US. Now, I rarely feature watches under $10 because they're usually shit. But I've got one of these in my cart, so I'm hoping that doesn't apply in this case. It's a digital watch by Skmei. Now, Skmei are well known for making Casio knockoffs, and there's definitely a whiff of Pro Trek about this one, but it is not a pure copy of any particular model. Available in an outdoorsy green or a more conservative black. It looks like they've sold more than 1,000 of these already, and it gets a 4.8 out of 5 rating, so people seem really pleased with it. And why wouldn't they be? 100 meters of water resistance, 10-year battery life, under $10 asking price. This is a watch you buy and leave in your locker at work, or the glove box of your car, or in your garage for when you're tinkering around at the weekend. It's a watch you can beat and not feel in the slightest guilty about it. Or it's a watch you can leave on your bedside table and put it on when you go to sleep, because the LED backlight and those huge numerals means it is super easy to read. If I had to sum this watch up in one word, that word would be legible. And cheap, but that's 2 words. These are available from a number of different stores. I'll leave a couple of links. $10 is your target price during the sale. At number 5, no top 10 AliExpress sale video would be complete without a Pagani or two. So here we are. It's their latest release. It is a lookalike of the 1957 Speedy, and it can be yours for well under $100 during the sale. Plus, there is an extra $10 discount code in the description of the video as well. Leather strap and bracelet options are available. I would always steer you towards the bracelet in the first instance. You can then put it on the strap of your choice that you have at home. The bracelet version is a little more expensive, but not too much more expensive. And there are 3 color versions, blue, green and black dials. I would probably be going for one of the brighter colors with this one. There's a little bit of extra complexity in the 2 sub dials. And make sure you check out the video of the actual watches in the listing rather than relying on the renders. All the usual Pagani specs are here though: sapphire crystal, Seiko movement, screw link bracelet, solid end links, and a decent water resistance level of 100 meters. Plus they always throw in a bonus NATO strap as well. Okay, second half of the list, and we have the second NH34 powered GMT on the list. But I think this is the cheapest I have ever seen. It's by I&W, a watch brand that I featured on the channel before, and it's coming in at not much more than $100 US during the sale. And it's not a dive style GMT. There have been so many dive style GMTs released over the last year since Seiko launched the NH34, but not many classically styled ones like this. It's 41mm in diameter, but only 11mm thick. That is of course sapphire crystal. It features blue leaf hands, Roman numerals, and it looks like it has some nice gear shape patterning in the center of the dial as a bonus. 3 colors are available. Well, 2 colors and 1 strap change if we're being honest about things. I have got one of these on the way as well. If it arrives in time, you can expect to see an unboxing style video next week. The last I&W that I reviewed was a cracker, so I'm expecting big things of this one, especially considering the bargain price tag. At number 7 is another chronograph and a watch that I highly rate. I'm wearing it today by a brand that is quickly becoming one of my AliExpress favourites, Baltany. Their Type A military chronograph is fantastic. It made my top 5 bottom 5 list late last year, and they have just launched a Type B, which is also just as fantastic. Perfect dimensions for a mid-century chronograph, sandblasted case which looks great, Seiko movement, both pushers and the crown screw down, and the leather strap it comes on is perfectly usable, hence why I haven't switched it out. Lume is good, and it features one of the best pieces of sapphire crystal I have seen on a watch costing less than £1,000, never mind less than 150. As you can see here, I have one in the house and I have finished the full review video. That will be going live tomorrow. The dial is definitely busier than the Type A because of the extra complications, but the complications are going to be a big part of this one's appeal, I think. I'll leave links to both the Type A and the Type B in the description. They're some of the best watches you can buy on Ali, especially at under 150. Alright, at number 8, it's another 2 for 1, a pair of watches by Addiesdive, both under $100, that share a movement and a dial, but not much else. And it's one of the most interesting dials I've seen on AliExpress for ages. The first is a Captain Willard lookalike. There are no shortage of them for you if you're keen, but this one features a stainless steel bezel insert and a white wave dial. I really love the bezel insert, and I'm really keen to see what the dial looks like in one of those classic cushion cases, so I have one of these in my car as well, which will take me to 3 Willard homages in total now. But look, for under $100, there really is not much that can touch these for value. It does have a cousin though that is very much in the Rolex zone. Same specs, sapphire crystal, Seiko movement, decent water resistance, but more formal with a Jubilee bracelet and unloomed hands. It's got the same dial texture though, apparently designed to remind the user of a light wind blowing across a calm lake. Well, you gotta give the marketing team points for trying, I suppose. The dial alone makes these two worthy of a look and possibly worthy of a purchase. Alright, number 9 is a bit of a left fielder, but not nearly as left field as number 10. Let me assure you of that. It's a watch by Specht Sonne, another Chinese brand trying to pretend it's a German brand. It looks rather a lot like a B&R for much less money. I mean, seriously, a lot less money. The chronographs feature a VK63A Mecha Quartz movement by Seiko, sapphire crystal, and an integrated stainless steel bracelet, all for under $60 US. That is not a lot of money for those specifications in 2023. Now, they claim 50 meters of water resistance. There's a bit of lume on the dial and the hands. Now, it seems to be a fairly new model and there are only a few user reviews, but they are all positives. It does look pretty chunky though, so maybe one for the bigger guys today. I'm keen to see what it's all about though, so there's one in my car ready to go. And finally, it is the horological equivalent of a dog riding a skateboard, like at the end of your typical evening news broadcast. I think that everyone needs at least one oddity in their collection. An outlier, something a bit mental, something completely different from everything else in one's collection. And there are no shortage of this style of watch available on AliExpress. I have reviewed Aventurine tourbillons in the past, for example. Today is the cheapest wandering hour star wheel style watch that I have ever seen by a brand called Pindu. I don't know what drugs they're on at the Pindu factory, but they are seriously strong. Have a look at these 3. Don't worry, they are not the watches that I'm recommending to you, but they are just insane. Tiny solar systems, small roulette wheels, golden dragons. Pindu have got the lot. The Wandering Hour looks positively conservative by comparison. Now, a friend of mine in Sydney bought one of these at the last sale and I saw it and handled it and I was most impressed. Fair warning, the strap is junk and the watch is unbranded. There is no Pindu anywhere on it, which is probably a good thing though, to be honest. There are 2 different case options available, both housing the same movement and dial arrangement. This one is a more conservative dress style case. The other one is more like a dive style case with fixed scalloped bezel. Both watches are powered by the same movement. It's a modified Miyota with a Wandering Hour complication. I'm not claiming they're particularly legible, especially with those transparent hour discs, but as I said, this is your oddity. It's not designed to be practical, and they're actually not that hard to read once you get used to it. Like I said, I've had one of these in hand and I was most impressed, especially considering it costs about 20% of the price of the next cheapest wandering hours watch. And at well under $200 during the sale, it's the type of watch you can afford to buy as a conversation starter or an occasional wear piece and feel better about yourself than the Pindu design team waking up the morning after the night before. So there you have it, another sale, another super interesting selection of 10, or was it 13, watches, and another bunch of watches in my personal cart ready to go. As you saw, I have a few in hand with reviews scheduled, and I've got a few more coming in next week, hopefully, so you can expect to see a bunch more Ali sale content on the channel soon. Leave me a comment, let me know what you've got your eye on, and happy shopping. If nothing on today's list tickled your fancy, why not check out a couple of previous top 10s? You are bound to find something that you like. Thanks for making it to the very end of the video. I'll see you in the next one.